Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are going to be covering 4 super simple starter farms that are completely automated, okay? Listen, I'm not going to cover like cobblestone farm or anything like that where you got to be mining at that block to get it. No, these are completely 100% automated AFK. You don't even need to like AFK, okay? You just let these be set up in the background and you will automatically get resources. These are all things that are very simple to set up that you should be able to do basically starting off pretty quickly, okay? We're going to be starting off with a chicken farm. I absolutely love this farm and it has kind of become the classic starter farm because it will give you cooked chicken and feathers. Feathers are great before you have an infinity bow. You can easily get the flint in order to make arrows, but feathers are a little bit more difficult. So with this farm, your chickens are up here, and I just reloaded the world. That's why they look like they're all like glitching in there. They're like acting a little bit weird. But you got your chickens up at the top. They will lay eggs. The eggs will go into here. You got your babies. When they grow up, they get hit with the lava. They die to the lava, being cooked, picked up by the hopper, and deposited in this chest. So it's awesome. It's absolutely incredible. Here is everything that you need to make it. Very simple stuff like I mentioned. And then the chicken spawn eggs here just represent you need about 24 chickens up at the top. That's how much max entity cramming is set to by default. I'm going to move away from these chickens to make this because they're kind of a little bit loud. So that's why I suggest 24. So start off by putting down your chest, then moving to the back and dropping a hopper that is pointed into that chest. Next, you're going to take your stone slab and you're going to put it on top of the hopper. Now, take some glass, and we're just going to put down 1, 2, and 3 pieces of glass like that. And that is just to make sure that the chickens don't, like, pop out and jump at us. We don't want no jumping chickens. I'm going to move along to the back, and we're going to take our smooth stone, and I'm going to put down a 3 by 3, so 9 of the smooth stone. And this can be really any solid block you want. I'm going to go ahead and put down my comparator, and that is just so I have something to click on the back here. And that way I can go ahead and grab my dispenser. I'm going to jump on top of that right there and then click onto the back of that while holding down shift. We can get it to face forward. There we go. And that dispenser is going to be facing into that slab. Now let's do a bit of redstone back here. We already have the comparator down. We're going to put down a repeater, and that is going to go into a solid block. Then we're going to have redstone on one side going back just to that comparator, and then on the other side it's going to go back, but before it gets to that comparator we're going to put down one more repeater, and then that repeater is going to go into a solid block. And this is an awesome setup because that means that if anything is in this dispenser, that's going to notice it, and it causes this chain to happen, and the dispenser will poop out. It will fire whatever is in there into that slab. Currently, it's going to go into the chest, but if that was eggs, it would try to break the eggs. And remember, chicken eggs will break in there and then make little babies. So this is exactly what we want. Next, on top of that dispenser, this is where we're going to want our chickens to live. So we're going to put that down with a carpet right on top. Then in this area, that is where we're going to have our lava. So we're going to make a little wall. So make each one of those glass too tall. Then take our lava and bloop, there we go. That half tall gap is going to be big enough for the baby chickens. But then once they grow up, they will be too tall for that space and die. Go ahead and put glass on top of that so that we don't get the carpet caught on fire. And then we are just going to put glass around every single edge. And if you are very good, you can click that at the edge of the carpet and make that too tall like so. Then this is where we are going to add our 24 of the chickens, and basically I can just add here until we start getting entity cramming inside of there. There we go. We got the entity cramming. You noticed earlier when I jumped in here, I added one more mob to the mob count, and that's why I killed a chicken when I jumped in there, and that's why there was this raw chicken in there, is because I entity crammed one extra, so we could add one more chicken in there because I was the entity. Then these chickens are going to poop out eggs. That'll go into the hopper. Hopper will deposit it into the dispenser. This redstone will fire that into there. We get our baby chickens, and eventually we will get cooked chicken as the result. Moving on, this is a sheep cutter. I don't know. It will dispense wool. And the cool thing about this is you can dye that sheep any color you want, and then it will have that color wool. So if I go down here and just grab some blue dye, I don't know if I can actually do this while it doesn't have any. Yeah, I have to actually wait for it to, here, I'm going to break this momentarily. I have to wait for it to actually grow back some wool. Bam, it's fat. And now we can dye that a color. And I'm going to add back the redstone. We're about to do this live, show you how it works. But basically, once that block turns into grass, that will update the whole system. And these shears will shear the sheep. And then the contraption down here will pick that up and deposit it into the chest. And this will work even if the sheep isn't sheared already. Like the sheep, it will just randomly eat some grass sometimes. And that'll cause the whole contraption to go. Here's everything you need. This represents the one sheep that you'll need in the whole system, and then shears. And you could add a hopper with extra shears, but these shears will last you a very, very long time. So let's head on over here and make it, I don't know, just some random space of land. This looks great. So break this. Starting off, we're just going to assume like our sheep is going to sit right here, okay? No big deal. What we're going to do is we're going to take an observer, boop, and we're going to observe that grass. Then on the back of the observer, we're going to put down some redstone dust on top of the block that it is pointing at, that arrow right there is pointing at. Then we're going to put down a dispenser. This dispenser is going to have all of the shears inside of it. And now we can just build up all of these glass walls and then fit our sheep inside of there. We actually hold on just a moment before we do that sheep thing. Now we're going to dig down and we want to get underneath that block, right? So that block right there that I just destroyed is right underneath that block. So we're going to keep that in mind. This is going to be where our chest is, and so I'm just going to clear out some extra space to work here. So remember, this is the block that we care about. It's the one that the sheep will be on. So I'm going to put down our chests right here, grab our hopper, put it pointing into that chest, grab a rail, stick it on top of the hopper, and then grab a minecart with a hopper inside of it, and then put that right there. That will pick up items from above this block. It'll like grab through the block. It seems impossible, but it is possible. And then we're just gonna create a little way to get out, and we could also like fill this all in if we wanted to. One pro tip is that this rail right here, I'm gonna just break this. If you want to, make sure that it's like facing into 2 blocks, because that minecart can move if you accidentally bump it. So I would put it down and then like put a block in the way so that it can't move in any direction. Don't put a block above your chest, otherwise you won't be able to open it. But do try to like put a block there so that that doesn't roll around. Then now we can go ahead and put our sheep inside of there. Oh, we got a brown sheep. Oh, that's pretty cool. Every once in a while, the sheep will graze on the grass that it is standing on. When that happens, it'll update the observer, which causes the redstone pulse to happen, causing the shears to shear the sheep. Then the wool will hit the ground. That hopper underneath will pick up that wool and deposit it into the chest. One thing to note with this is that that grass needs to go from dirt back to grass. So after this sheep, and any day now would be fantastic if you eat that grass. That would be amazing for the video, but that grass will turn into dirt after the sheep has munched on it, and it needs to turn back into grass in order for the sheep to be able to munch on it again. And when it is naked and doesn't have any wool on itself, that is how it gets its wool back. So you need to make sure that there is grass around that block so that it can encroach back onto that, it can grow back onto that block. There we go, finally. He munched on it, turned to dirt. It caused the whole thing to go off. And as you can see, he's naked. That block needs to turn into grass before he can chew and get his coat back. But there you go. There's a brown wool deposited below. Next is Cactus, and Cactus is useful for the color green. If you want green dye, you need to put Cactus inside of a furnace. And so having some Cactus every once in a while is super duper useful, but going out and harvesting it can be a pain. With this, what will happen, and I'm just gonna switch the game rule of a random tick speed, and we're gonna make that really high. That will cause us to grow in front of our eyes. Every once in a while, the cactus will grow up, and then this automatically breaks it without any pistons, which is crazy, and then deposits it into this hopper, which is obviously connected to that chest, which is what we love. We love to see it. So this is all of the materials that are required for this. Let's make it right here. So start off by creating a hole and putting your chests into that, and then attach a hopper to that. Now this area is going to be where we are going to put down our cactus, and so I like to just make a, you know, like the dice that is, you know, the number 4 dice, just stick them right there, one block up and across from the hopper. Then we are going to create a wall. This wall will contain our water, and these freaking flowers are in the way. Okay, we're gonna do that and destroy flowers, and all this is gonna do is just go all the way around. You can leave the space above the chest free because we want to be able to open that. And I'm just gonna I'm just doing this to get rid of the grass because all the grass is in the way. Now I like to just replace the floor, and these blocks can be really anything. If you have, you know, some netherite blocks and you want to use that instead, that's totally fine. Or you could just use cobblestone. I mean, it really anything in between. It doesn't matter at all. Or just dirt. I don't care. Now put down your water, and that will all flow from that corner. That's the opposite of the hopper over to the hopper. It's all perfect. It's all amazing. Now put cactus in all 4 of these, and you only need 2 oak fence, but you do need some temporary blocks, which is just right there in the middle. And whoops, see, if you misplace, these things break. What happens is cactus does not like things being next to cactus, okay? If a block is like right here, boop, cactus doesn't like it. It's like its little prickly pear side thingies. They need to take up the block next to them. And so if there is anything in that block next to them, they'll break off. And that's what these fences are doing, is once this grows up, it notices this and goes, oh my gosh, I can't be here anymore, and it just yeets out of there, and that's why it falls into the water and is picked up by the chest. Okie dokie, on to our last farm, and this farm is awesome because it happens to do with bees. It's one of my newer farms, and it can either pick up honeycomb or it can pick up honey bottles, and I really like this farm because it's like my own. I feel like I designed this myself. I spent a lot of time on it, and I absolutely love it. As you can see, you could do just a single one, or it can be tiled, and this is super awesome because what a lot of these farms on the internet do is they just use an observer to notice when the hive or nest has been updated, and then it just spams bottles or spams shears at the thing, and if it's not full, you'll lose bottles. It'll just dispense it into the hive or the nest, which is not great. So this option is much more elegant because it waits until whatever the thing is at full power. It has all 5 levels of honey, and then it can either do a bottle or it can do shears to get honeycomb, which is fantastic. And as you can see, I mean, the fact that it's tileable is just absolutely Awesome. So here is how you make each one of the tiles, and here is the ingredients for that. You'll notice here that I only have 1 glass in the top row, and then I have 32 down here. And that's basically because you need to make a glass structure to contain your bees. That doesn't have to be glass, but depending on how you tile it, you might need more or less because you need some stuff on the edges. And then also the oak door, you don't need one if you only do a single tile or can get at the chests from below, but if you tile it a lot, you basically need the oak doors in order to get down there to the chest. You could also do a situation where like you have the hoppers go down even further and move these flowers closer to the hives if you want. Also, shears and glass bottle, it's totally up to you which one you use. If you use shears, you're going to get the honeycomb. If you use the bottle, you're going to get the honey, and that will give you, one or the other type of product. So just keep that in mind. We're going to build it over here because why not? Starting off, we're going to put down our double chest and then put a hopper pointing into that chest. And for some reason, I forgot in my list over here that you need a hive. And what I suggest you do is wait until night, because all of the bees will go into a nest or a hive and then use a silk touch pick and get a nest or a hive that is full of bees. Make sure there's like 3 bees in there. That's the maximum that a hive can hold. And then you don't have to worry about doing weird stuff to get them into the farm. Obviously, I'm in creative mode, so no, we're not going to worry about that. Next, go ahead and put down a temporary block and then another solid block and break out that temporary block and take your dispenser and make sure that it's pointing down into the hive or nest. Next, take some solid blocks. These can be really any type of block. Go 3 away from your nest or hive, up 1. And then this next one, we're going to put down a temporary block and then a glass block. And then the next 2 can be solid blocks. On the back here, we're going to put down a comparator. Then we're going to go redstone dust, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this glass is here because it allows the redstone to pass through and go up on top of the glass. This is like the only way to get vertical redstone like this. Next, we're going to take a repeater and stick it into that top block like so. Now, we need to make sure that these bees have a place to pollinate. So we're just going to put down a flower nearby. And then in case this whole thing on the front in glass, and that way the bees will not escape our area right here. If we only do 1 tile of this, we can just reach the chest from the side, so we don't need the doors. But if we do extra tiles of it, and really all you're doing is just taking this all the way out, you're just extruding this in a way, and it works all great because once one of these reaches level 5, the redstone can't get to the things on the side, like it can't reach over to the side because it's only a level of 5. Oops, I did that wrong. And it'll set the thing off, and then it resets it all back down. Okie dokie. So if you want this fun door contraption that I have on there to make sure no bees leave. Oh, by the way, we need to extend the flower here. And this flower, by the way, can be any type of flower that you want. I have a double tall flower in the other one because, I don't know, there might be a chance that they get up to the top up there. Anyway. So if you want a double door on the front, and I like this to make sure no bees leave, is I come up here and I turn all the way around and then I stick down a door, and that'll put it on the outside edge of that, and then do that again, and now we have 2. And make sure there's a little roof on that, and that way we have a cool double door. So if we're going in, we open one, close the one behind, and then open the other, and then we're all good to go. And if there's a double tall flower in front of this door, you won't be able to get out, so you just break that flower. And I missed one crucial step, and which is to fill the dispensers with whatever you want. Right here we have 4 different ones, so we could do half and half. That way we are gathering a good amount of each of these. And then you just make sure there's bees in here. Since I'm in creative mode, I'm gonna just go bee crazy. There we go. We got lots of bees. Open up the door. Make sure no bees are in here with me. leave, and we are good to go. And if there is a flower right outside here in this gap here, no bees are going to escape through this gap. But if there's a flower, sometimes they can get distracted. So you can also block this up so they don't get distracted like that. And you're not really going to lose bees, but they may like focus on a flower that is just outside of their grasp. And so if you want to just block that up, just make sure that that doesn't happen. And one troubleshooting tip is if you don't see any bees, make sure it's not night, because they go into sleep at night. And as you can see back here, we have this one right here, the second most hive. It has 1, 2, 3, and then we just need 2 more fill levels in order for it to fire off the dispenser. And inside of this, you can see that we have been collecting bottles and honeycomb already. There we go. A long video because these take a little while to make. I hope that you found this video useful, and we'll build these farms, these completely automated farms, in your Minecraft world. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe for future videos. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.